guys, so today I'm going to be teaching you about accounting because I'm writing accounting tomorrow, and if I have to suffer, you have to suffer. So we have 5 chapters: ethics, internal control, bank reconciliation, creditors reconciliation, and fixed assets. So first up, ethics. Ethics consists out of 3 things: accountability, transparency, and sustainability. Accountability means to acknowledge and assume responsibility for your duties, actions, and decisions. Transparency, just basically to do things responsibly and honestly. Sustainability, the ability to maintain economic, social, and environmental resources. Okay, so there might be more, but this is the only things my textbook has, so the only things I'm studying. Yeah. Okay, chapter 2, internal control. There are 5 internal controls: division of duties, proper documentation, authorization of transactions, physical control, and reconciliation. So just to give a short thing: division of duties, 2 or more people go do the same thing to make sure this person doesn't steal, or you rotate, so Monday this person and this person does it, Tuesday the other 2 people do it, blah blah blah. Proper documentation, to say on April 25th I bought that. On the 24th I sold this and this. On 17 May people broke in and stole this and this and this. So yeah. Authorization of transactions, a higher up person just goes through, make sure it's like you didn't steal anything, blah blah blah. Physical controls, I go in every afternoon and go count. Okay, so at the start of a day, or on the document it says I bought 20 thingies of Coke, crates of Coke. But when I go in, there's only 17 and we haven't packed anything into the store yet. So yeah. Reconciliation, just basically comparing your statement and balance to the bank's, or your creditors, or whoever. Why do we do internal control? For a business, it's to ensure financial and operational information is accurate, that employees comply with policies, rules, procedures, blah blah blah. Employees adhere to the code of ethics of a business, that assets are safeguarded and resources are used economically and efficiently. To accounting, it's important to ensure that records are accurate and reliable. Income and expenses are correctly recorded, because sometimes people mix it up. Assets are safeguarded and recorded, and liabilities are paid and recorded. Errors and irregularities are detected while processing. Okay, chapter 3, bank recon. Okay, so I basically just have a bunch of tables. So it's the bank T account and the bank reconciliation statement that has a debit side and a credit side. And then you also have the CRJ and CPJ, the creditors cash receiving journal. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it. If you guys don't know what it is, probably because you don't take accounting, because we've learned this since like grade 8. But so the balance in bank is when you have they'll tell you, do you have a credit balance or a debit balance, and then you put it according to which side. And then you have the total receipts and total payments. Receipts will always be on the debit side, and payments always on the credit side. And then you'll have a balance on whichever side needs more, so the one with a lesser total, and then you'll put the totals, and then the final balance on whichever side the first balance was. And then the recon statement is balance as per bank statement. That will once again depend on whether it's on the debit or credit side. Then there's the credit outstanding deposits, which will always be on the credit side. Debit outstanding EFTs will always be on the debit side. Wrong entries, just look if it says debit note, creditors control, blah 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 blah. Whichever it says, you can lay off it's supposed to be in the credit or on the debit side. And then the balance as per bank account, which connects to the bank T account. Whichever that balance was, goes down to the balance as per bank account on whichever side it is needed. Okay, wow, my voice hurts. And then we have chapter 4, creditors recon or reconciliation. So once again, it's I did not voltooi wissing. Okay. So it's balance as per creditor statement. Once again, they'll give you is it a debit or is it a credit. Discount not recorded will usually be on the credit side. Payment not recorded, credit side. Incorrect amount, debit side. Returns not recorded, credit side. Debit note not recorded, debit side. Invoices not recorded, debit side. And then balance as per creditors ledger, which we'll get to now, is depending on whichever side the balance was. Was it a negative or positive? Okay, the creditors ledger starts with a balance. So it has 4 columns technically. The one that just you write in the name, so like invoice, balance, blah 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 blah. And then it's the debit, the credit, the balance. So the balance you just write in balance. And then the possibilities of things you can enter is an invoice, which will go onto the debit side, which is minus, by the way. So debit is minus, credit is plus in this case. Discount not received to the creditor side. Interest on overdue account, credit, debit note, credit. Yeah, I know that might be a bit confusing. And then you'll get the balance, and then that balance you will enter into the creditors recon. Okay, chapter 5. Okay, so creditors, not creditors. Chapter 5 is fixed assets. So you will have a general journal, which basically just says where things are going to go in the T accounts. So it's asset disposal and vehicles. So asset disposal will go on the... Just give me a second. Sorry, technical difficulties. So asset disposal will go on the debit side and vehicles or equipment will go on the credit side. Then you'll have a new one that says accumulated depreciation on either vehicles or equipment. Remember, land and buildings does not depreciate, it appreciates. And then asset disposal, same thing. It's debit then credit, debit then credit, debit then credit, the entries. And then the next one will be debtors control or creditors control, depending on whether it was traded in, then it will be debtors, or bought on credit, then will be creditors control. And then once again, asset disposal. And then you'll have asset disposal, then profit or loss on sale of asset. So depending on which one you get, but they'll both be on the credit side and then asset disposal on the debit side. Okay, so the T accounts will, the ones that usually are on the papers, is the vehicles or equipment. I just wrote down both in case. Accumulated depreciation on said vehicles or equipment, and then asset disposal. So vehicles or equipment, they basically have the same layout. It will be balance on the debit side, asset disposal on the credit side. Then a balance underneath asset disposal. Sometimes creditors control, if you bought a new one during the time period, will be on the debit side. I know, once again, confusing, but accounting is weird, so just leave it. And then we'll leave the totals and then the balance on the debit side. Accumulated depreciation on either vehicles or equipment, the balance will be on the credit side, asset disposal on the debit side, balance underneath asset disposal, totals, balance on credit side. And then asset disposal, very important, do not make the mistake I made. Asset disposal does not have a balance, like at all. It will have the totals but no balance. So vehicles or equipment will go on the debit side, accumulated depreciation will go on the credit side, and debtors or creditors control will go on the credit side as well. And then depending on which one is more, So if vehicles and equipment is more than both accumulated depreciation and debtors or creditors control combined, it will be a loss on sale of asset. Whereas if accumulated depreciation and creditors or debtors control is more than vehicles and equipment, it will go to the debit side and be a profit on sale of asset. Then you'll just total. Yes, so this is a very short video. Be glad. I'm very glad because now I can just go over and listen to this a few times to study. But I hope this helps if you take accounting. Hell knows I need help sometimes. But yeah, if you guys have any other subjects that you'll maybe want me to like do this with, I might. You just have to ask. I'm gonna try and enable my comments again because like I don't know what happened. So yeah, I'll do that. And then I hope you guys have a great day. And I'll see you when I decide to either do another makeup tutorial or whatever the hell it is, but I am now gonna go study further on this stuff. So this has been Coco. Bye.